Our whole lives, we have been brainwashed into believing that life is supposed to be hard and miserable and painful. But what if I told you that life is supposed to be easy? You were supposed to be effortlessly happy and abundant. My name is Andrea Ellis, and I'm a spiritual awareness coach. I'm also the author of Get the Fuck Up, and today I'm going to tell you how to be effortlessly and eternally happy. So many of us are waiting to be happy. We have been told our whole lives you have to work 60 years until you can retire and eventually feel peaceful and happy. So many of us are waiting to get into a relationship. You have to have kids, be married in order to be happy. So many of us are waiting to have that perfect job opportunity. I can't wait till I graduate and get this perfect career and then I'll be happy. When are you going to stop waiting? You can be happy right now. As a matter of fact, it is your birthright to be happy all the time, effortlessly. When you came into this earth, you were light. You operated from your soul and your spirit, and your mind was here to help you spread that light and spirit on earth. It is literally a survival mechanism to let you spread this light on earth. However, the limiting beliefs and fears of your parents and society, of your friends, and all of the traumas that you faced made your brain create a personality. This personality is literally built off of lack, negativity, and is constantly in survival mode. And as you grow up, you literally start identifying yourself with this personality. So you are now operating from your mind instead of your soul. Enlightenment is when you finally disconnect from your mind again and you reconnect with your soul and you start using your mind to operate as your soul on earth instead of identifying so closely with this survival mechanism. Because when you are in survival, you are in lack. You are constantly seeking out the negativity in the world. You are constantly in defense mode and you are constantly blocking your blessings and creating misery. So how can we get back to our light? How can we be our true, authentic, happiest selves again? The first thing I'm going to tell you is to start erasing that story. You literally have to start breaking down these limiting beliefs one at a time. And that's why I wrote my book, Get the Fuck Up. It is literally a step-by-step guide on how to start breaking down these disbeliefs. Right now, you are living by human rules, human limits, but you are not a human. You are a spiritual being living a human experience. And the second that you can finally reconnect with your soul, you will begin to feel the effortless happiness, start experiencing the effortless abundance that your soul naturally has. But by living in your mind and limiting yourself to a human experience, that is what you are experiencing. Humans experience sadness and pain and negativity. They have to work really fucking hard to get things that they want in life. But when you start operating from the soul, it is effortless. You are effortlessly happy. And the way to start breaking down these beliefs is to start questioning everything. Why do you believe anything? Why do you believe you have to go to college? Why do you believe you have to work this specific job? Why do you believe you have to get married and have kids to be happy? Why do you believe that you have to literally die and go to heaven to be happy? Who told you to believe these things? Why do you believe these things? Is this truly what you believe? Is this truly what your soul and truest, most authentic self believed? Or has the world just been telling you this from such a young age you don't know any different? When you start to question yourself and all of your beliefs and you start to unpack, you may realize that these beliefs and this way of thinking is truly not even yours, and you have just been stuck in it for so long that you started to believe that it was yours. Your subconscious mind acts from this personality, your paradigm that is created when you are so young. And your subconscious mind makes 95% of your decisions. So it makes sense that this story is so below your conscious level that you cannot even tell that it is not yours. So as you question your story, you start to operate from your heart instead of your mind. And in leaving your egotistical mind, this mind that thinks it knows everything, that believes that they know for sure that this is how you have to be happy, that you have to be negative, that you have to, all the things that you believe. When you start to leave that egotistical mind, you make room for light and love, which is your soul. A lot of us don't even really know what true love and happiness is because we very rarely experience it. Most of the time when we consider love and happiness, it's just an addiction to the pain and pleasure cycle that your mind is obsessed with because it validates the identity and personality that it made for you to protect you. Your subconscious mind will actually create misery in your life. It will literally recreate all of your traumas, recreate all of your fears in order to validate the personality that you are living from, the lacking, miserable, and negative personality that you built to protect yourself. But when you start to question your beliefs and start truly thinking about the way you think, start observing your thoughts instead of identifying with them, you can actually choose to create the life of your dreams. You start operating from your soul instead of just automatically agreeing with and identifying with your lacking mind. My workbook, Get the Fuck Up, will literally teach you how to break down all these limiting beliefs in your subconscious mind. This goes for toxic relationships, this goes for career and success, this goes for happiness. But I also have a video that will link in the description that kind of talks about it as well. The next way that you are going to be happy is what I call the ripple effect. This goes along with a very popular theory by Mel Robbins, the Lethem theory. But it is slightly different because with the ripple theory, it is important to know that the universe is us. The universe is our connection to each other and the world around us. And when we are in flow and harmony with the universe, when we start accepting instead of denying, we become in flow with the universe and everything is easy and effortless and happy. It is only when we start rejecting things, trying to change things, hating things, only seeing the negative, that life becomes so hard and miserable. So this is so important with especially people. This goes for relationships, this goes for the mean clerk at a fucking fast food restaurant. This goes for literally every person in your life. In order to be happy, you have to learn to not let negative energy affect you and instead inspire positive, happy energy. When somebody is not treating you correctly, when somebody does something that may seem rude or might seem hurtful, it is important to realize that that has absolutely nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and their journey. When you are able to realize this, you become empathetic and compassionate, and instead of bringing yourself down to their level by retaliating or even being angry, you not only allow them to experience light and give them room to question their own story and go closer to enlightenment, but you also stop infecting your own energy. When you are so focused on hurting people back, you literally just create a cycle of pain and hurt for everybody. You put yourself at low vibrations, you validate their low vibrations, and you create a weaker universal connection and harmony. It brings your vibrations so low and you start to see only negative in the world. You start to reject all of the blessings that the universe is literally laying out for you. Now, instead of spreading light and love everywhere, you are spreading darkness and negativity and validating the negative stories all around you. So when somebody is treating you in a way that feels a little painful, it feels a little hurtful, it's important to do two things. First, ask yourself why this hurts you. Why does this hurt some part of your heart? Is it because you want to be validated? Is it because you feel the need to feel love from other people? Is it because you just take things way too fucking personally and you can't realize that people just have their own shit going on and it has literally nothing to do with you? If something is hurting you, that means that there is a limiting belief of fear, some type of insecurity there, which is inevitably blocking you from being connected with your soul and acting from your soul instead of acting from your mind. Because once again, your mind is a survival mechanism. It is trying to protect you. And if you have these feelings come up of rage, of anger, ask why. Why am I so angry at this? Why does this hurt me? Because anger is a secondary emotion. It covers up sadness, it covers up insecurity, but that is not a true emotion. And if you question these emotions and work through them, you don't have to feel them anymore. You can realize the root cause and literally fix them, literally heal that part of you. And you don't have to feel hurt by that anymore. You don't have to retaliate. You don't have to bring your energy so low. And then the second thing, of course, is to stay in your good energy, is to spread that light and positivity and plant the seed. I call it the ripple effect because when you plant the seed of light, you make them question their story. You make them ask themselves, why do I see the world like this? Why do I feel the need to be so angry when there are people like this that will not even respond to my anger, that are just going to be so kind and genuine and compassionate regardless? When you can make people question their story, that leaves a space for their light to shine through. And anything you give will be given back to you tenfold from the universe, I promise you. Because like I said, we are all connected. And if you can plant these seeds in everybody around you, that is going to come right back towards you. That's when you have effortless abundance and effortless happiness. I want to specify this especially in toxic relationships and friendships and even family relationships. You cannot change people. All you can do is inspire them to change. If you sit here and put all this energy into trying to change them and change them and change them, you are only going to end up bringing your own energy down and filling yourself up with so much lack and resentment because you are just putting so much energy into somebody that will not change. And eventually that energy will start to infect you and create bad, negative, lacking energy inside of yourself. And with that, you will end up creating a miserable life for yourself. So, like I said, let them and inspire them. Be the ripple that causes a huge fucking wave of abundance and happiness for everybody. My next tip on how to be effortlessly happy is to start living for yourself. When I say to live from your soul and your purpose, this means to stop giving a fuck what other people have to say. 99% of the rest of the world is literally living from this human limiting beliefs. So if you were sitting here turning to everybody all the time, asking if this is what I should do, oh, is this okay? Can you validate me? Can you tell me this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Do I look successful to you? You are gonna make yourself miserable. Your validation needs to come from yourself. You need to know that because I'm living for my truest, happiest, most abundant self, that is what I'm going to be. Happy and abundant, regardless of what the rest of the world thinks. And by being this truest, happiest self, by being in your purpose, by living from your heart instead of your mind, you show those people that don't believe in you that this is how you are supposed to live. You are not supposed to be miserable. You're not supposed to work your life away at this fucking job that you hate. You are supposed to be living in your purpose, and in that you inspire people to be in their own purpose. If you keep living a life for everybody else, you will be miserable forever. This next thing is so important. Know that everything is working out for you. The universe has been setting you up this entire time to come back to your light, to come back to your purpose, so you can spread this purpose and light on earth. Literally every single person that's came into your life, every single thing that has ever happened to you has set you up for success. You need to realize that every single thing that happens to you every single day is meant to teach you something. It is meant to push you further into success. But when you are so obsessed with validating your story, so obsessed with validating this personality of misery, you will choose to see the negative in everything. You will choose to feel pain and sadness instead of happiness and success that the universe is literally laying out for you. This is literally your subconscious mind trying to validate itself. And this is what I mean when I say to observe your thoughts. When something happens to you that might seem bad or negative on the outside, I need you to immediately think how this is going to work out for you. And even if you can't find something in that moment, you can absolutely find a lesson. You can learn something from anything and anyone always. And by doing this, you finally actually take a step towards success. And if you don't take that step, you need to realize that the universe will keep fucking trying. The universe will never give up on you. They need your light. They need your purpose. They need you to spread your light and love throughout the world. The world is so evil right now. It's more evil than it's ever been. We're killing more people than we ever have. The universe can't afford to give up on you. So if you don't listen to the universe's whispers, it will start screaming. And these things are going to seem so painful and awful and traumatic. But it's just the universe trying to get you back to your highest self, trying to get you back to your most authentic, loving, happiest self so you can spread light where you need to. This is somebody that has been through so much. This is somebody that literally didn't want to live last year. This is literally somebody that has been through so many abusive relationships, so many heartbreaks, and I never understood why. I always felt like the world was against me. And now I realize that the universe was absolutely pushing me to get here, to get to where I can sit here and tell you guys that you don't need to be miserable. You're not supposed to be living a life of misery. The universe is simply trying to push you to your happiest self, and you refuse to see it. You will hold on and hold on and hold on to misery just to keep validating yourself, just to keep playing the victim. You are not the fucking victim. You are literally the main character in this story. You are literally the universe. You are literally God. You are supposed to be living heaven on earth. I hate that it is so normalized to put this light and power outside of us. We have to wait till heaven to be eternally happy. We have to pray to this God and hope that he makes our life better. Do you know why praying works? When you pray, you finally open yourself up to a different story. You don't think it comes from you, but you finally have a belief that you can live a different way. Some magical being is going to come down here and save you, make your life abundant and amazing, save you from whatever miserable hell you're going through. But in all honesty, you are just finally seeing the signs that have been here all along, the stepping stones that the universe, each other, the world, has been putting in front of you all along. And when you are at a higher vibration, you naturally attract higher vibrating things. You put yourself in places where there are good opportunities, good people that uplift you, that bring your energy up and make you happier. If you could only realize that you literally hold the power in your hands, your life would be so effortless and beautiful. So instead of thinking the world is against you, know that the universe is always working out for you. And start taking the stepping stones instead of pitying yourself at every single turn, thinking that everything is against you, that the world is just against you and life is so hard. It's not. You're making it hard. You are literally rejecting the universe, taking yourself out of flow with the universe and working against it. I think a beautiful way to start living in flow is to learn from nature. Like I said, the universe is all of us. It's not just people. It is the world around us. It is every living, breathing thing. It is everything in flow with each other. And I want you to think of a tree. I want you to think about how it literally takes something so deadly and literally creates life from it. It literally gives back to the world and allows us to breathe. If a tree is in a forest surrounded by millions of other trees, it will grow taller to reach the sun. A tree doesn't pity itself. A tree adapts. A tree knows that it is meant to survive and give life back into the world. It is not worried. It is not desiring. It simply lives and gives. And in doing so, the very thing that it gives life to gives life right back into it. The next thing I want to talk about is living in the now. There is no such thing as future or past. There is only now. Everything that has ever happened has happened in the now. And by sitting here stressing about the things in the past that you cannot change, you are only destroying your present. Not only that, but you are also destroying your future because you can only create your future in the present. This also goes for stressing about the future and anxiety. When you are sitting here stressing about the future, which you cannot possibly predict, you are actually only creating your worst fears in the future. Because you are living in that lack and negativity so strongly right now in your now, which is creating your future, that you are literally creating your biggest fears right now. You put yourself at such a low vibration that you start attracting all of the low vibrating things that you don't want, that you're so afraid of. When you are living in the now, you are creating the best possible outcomes. You are putting so much focus, love, attention, and light into the now, and that creates a beautiful future. But if you are putting so much negativity and lack, if you are not even paying attention to the now because you're so worried about the past, you are destroying your present, you're wasting your present, and you're destroying the future. If you've ever read the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, you will hear him talk about communism. How we were so afraid that communism was going to destroy the world, that it was going to kill so many people, it was going to hurt so many people, that we started a war that killed millions of people. The very things we fear most are what we create. Stop living in fear and start living in the now. Start appreciating every aspect of now. Start taking full advantage of every aspect of now. Because that is the only way that you can build a beautiful future. Even when it comes to things like success and money. If you are so focused on this big picture, like, oh, I'm gonna have this big house, I'm gonna have this da-da-da-da, you are missing all of the now. And you are also paying no real attention to the details of now. So this big dream that you are trying to build is going to have a mediocre foundation. More likely a lacking, terrible foundation that will eventually crumble. And even if you can make it to your big dream, you are gonna realize that you have wasted the last 1, 2, 5, 10 years. For some of us, fucking 20, 30 years. You're gonna realize that you wasted all of that time in misery, stressing so much about the future. And once you get there, it's not gonna mean shit. Every single time you've gotten something that you just desired, wanted so badly, it became normal to you within what? A month? A week? A day? You can't even appreciate the things that you want so badly because you were always just looking towards the next thing. And when something is built out of misery and lack, how can you appreciate it? How can you love it? It is literally full of all of the things that is taken away from you. You've missed your loved ones for this. You have sacrificed your health, your mental health for this. What was it all for? There's no way a big house, money, fame, anything that you could possibly want is worth that. And what's even more sad, a lot of us will never even get to that dream because we are destroying the present that creates that dream. If you want to be truly successful and happy, you have to feel truly successful and happy right now in this moment because you are building the foundation. You are placing the stepping stones. You are literally building your dream. You cannot create a beautiful dream out of ugly. So what I need you to do every single day is to take some time aside to be, to live in the now, to be separated from your thoughts, all of your expectations of the world, and be. I need you to meditate. And I know a lot of people picture a fucking monk in the corner in silence, fingers together, fucking humming and shit. That is not meditation. When I tell you to meditate, I am saying to be. This can be coloring, this could be journaling, this could be working out, this could be literally dancing and singing in the mirror, this could be self-care, but it needs to be a separation of thought when you are truly being. And the reason we experience it so little, that true bliss and happiness that you probably can barely even recognize, but you know it when you feel it. True love, true happiness, not the pain and pleasure cycle. It is so momentary and minuscule because your brain will literally immediately kick back in and start fighting to validate that identity, to validate your pain and misery. So right now, when it is so hard for you to act from your soul, I need you to just take 30 minutes, an hour out of your day to be. I think some great ways to do this are to take a walk with no music and just take in your surroundings, truly feel. I think it is great to sit in the dirt, have your back against a tree, literally put your hands into the earth and feel. Feel the sun, feel your breath, feel what it is to be. Be alive and happy, at peace. There is nothing to worry about. There are no thoughts in your head. If a thought comes in your head, literally observe it and dismiss it. It is the holding on and acting from these lacking thoughts that creates your misery. When you can realize that these thoughts are simply meant for you to survive, to be able to spread your soul on earth, you realize that you get to choose which thoughts you want to validate and identify with. You realize that you get to choose which thoughts that you want to validate, which thoughts that you actually want to use, which thoughts will best help you spread your light instead of identifying and being a victim to your own thoughts. So when I'm telling you to be, I mean to truly be. And don't get so caught up on what being is. Don't be so obsessed with trying to figure out what being and connecting to your soul is, because that's literally the opposite of the point. You are still thinking. You are literally doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. You need to have a fully clear mind and choose to be. And eventually, if you keep doing this and also start destroying that story in your subconscious mind, you will reach a connection with your soul where you are constantly operating from your soul and you don't feel so connected to your mind anymore. Your mind is literally clear. And if you ever do have a thought, it is immediately observed, analyzed, and sent away. Your mind will once again become the powerful tool it is meant to be. A tool that is supposed to spread your light and love and create effortless happiness and abundance for yourself and everybody around you, making a stronger, more harmonious universe, putting light back into the world and waking up everybody from this dream, from this illusion, from this brainwashing that we are human. Because you are not human. You are your spirit. You are your soul. And the second you can start operating from your truest self again, that is when you will be eternally happy. That is when you create heaven on earth, not only for yourself, but for everybody around you. You will start constantly planting seeds. You will realize that even your smile plants a seed in others around you. You will realize that every single day, every single word that you speak from your mouth is light. You do not need to wait until a perfect job. You do not need to wait till money. You do not need to wait for heaven or retirement. You don't need to wait for a perfect relationship. You don't need to wait for anything. All you need to do is reconnect with who you truly are, who is guaranteed happiness and effortless success and abundance. When you reach this state, you will realize that everything you ever dreamed of literally falls into your lap. I remember literally the day that I realized this, I literally woke up, and it was after a long time of breaking down all of my limiting beliefs and every single day living in the now, forcing myself to live in the now, taking like 2-hour-long walks, just sitting there observing nature, feeling at one with nature again. And then just one day I woke up and I had the epiphany and I realized that we are all one with each other, and all I had to do was be in flow in the universe. And I remember literally that same day, I got 4 things that I had written down literally in my notes as a list of things that I wanted in my new reality. And it was, the first thing was I wanted to travel, and I literally got invited on a free trip to go travel that same day. The next thing was that I wanted some new panties and a new pink like matching set. And both of those things were gifted to me that same day. I literally woke up and they were sitting on my bed. My mom had gifted them to me. I never asked for them. I never told her I even wanted them. She just gave them to me. And then the last thing, I had asked for just some money to help grow my business. I don't have an outside job. I just do my business and I do my content and I write my books. I was literally blessed with a check that was like $150 from an old job that I had. I did not expect it. I did not know why it decided to come that day. But I literally got it in the mail that day and I opened it and I was shocked. And this all happened literally the morning after I had realized my enlightenment. And y'all have to realize, I literally woke up and I just started writing. Like, it felt like I wasn't even writing. It felt like it was just something above me. And I guess it was just really my truest self really just taking over me. And I remember just seeing the vision, seeing all of these things in my eyes, in my face, and not remembering what I had written down. And I looked back at it later and I was like, wow, like this is what I wrote down. And after that, I just remember feeling so light and effortlessly happy and just so unaffected by the world around me. Literally anything that happened to me that day, any of the abuse and negativity that I experienced that day, it didn't affect me. I literally just felt empathetic and compassionate, and I felt my light literally infecting everybody around me, literally planting the seeds in every single person around me. And it is so hard to explain the state of mind, the peace that you get from just having such a clear mind, being able to observe any thought that you have. And there's so few thoughts that will come to your mind. Like, I have so few thoughts that are not just amazing ideas and insights. I have so few thoughts that can even be considered lacking or negative. And when I do, they don't affect me. I see them and I let them go. I can literally analyze them and be like, oh, well, this was just some traumatic thing that happened in my past, and this is my mind trying to make up for it. And I just let it go. And now I don't have to feel that anymore. But the only way you can get that way is to literally break down the story that you are living right now. And it is going to be hard. It is some work right now, but it is nothing compared to the life of misery that you are headed towards right now. You can literally have heaven on earth. And all you have to do is be willing to question your miserable story that you are living right now. I love you so much. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching sessions with me, you can go to my site, www.petalselflove.store. I will also link it in the description. If you want to order my book, Get the Fuck Up, that is also going to be on my site. It's also on Amazon. I am also in the process of writing 2 books. One about erasing the story from your subconscious mind, and the other about what the universe truly is and our connection to each other. So if you want to stay posted on that, you can check out my blog. I'll put that right here, and it's also in the link in the description. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe and join the family. I love you so much, and you just being here is making my dream come true of spreading my light to the entire world. I love you.